welcome back to my channel. I feel like my camera is like tilted, but whatever. So I know I did a my favorite books adult version, and so I thought I would go through kid books, like children's books. These are some of my favorites from when I was a kid to some that I read to my daughter when she was growing up. I have a lot. I have a table here, I have a couch full, so I'm just gonna jump right in. I was gonna try to do like Halloween and Christmas, but I'm gonna be all over the place. My bookshelf is really dusty, so so are the books. I don't even know if you could see the dust that just came out of these. So ignore that for now, because I'm gonna definitely have to dust my bookshelf. Okay, I'm gonna start with a very classic. I do have, I believe this is all of the scary stories in one book. I think this is all of them when they made it into one single book. But I also have the individual scary stories. So I do have these. These were obviously a staple growing up for my age. It was, you go to the library, you check these out. Definitely a winner. I'm trying to find a spot to put these. I have a ton of these. I have like 40, maybe 30 of them. So I just grabbed one off the shelf, but of course, Goosebumps. This is just a random one I grabbed. I didn't choose specifically. This was one I did like, but yeah, so I do have a bunch of Goosebumps books. Some of these still have like stickers. I didn't take them off, but of course the Bailey School Kids, Vampires Don't Wear Polka Dots. I also have like Ghosts Don't Eat Potato Chips, but I have like a few of these, not a whole lot, but I do have like maybe a couple more. Okay, this book, I doubt anyone's ever heard of it. And if you find someone that has, let me know. This book, me and my neighbor, best friend growing up, they had this book and we would read it all the time. And I found this at a thrift store one day. So this isn't the one we had growing up, but I found this at a thrift store. And it was just so serendipitous that I was like, well, I have to buy it. But it was really cool because it kind of explains like why it thunders and lightning. So this is just nostalgia for me. Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse. These are a lot of the Caldecott honor books and just like different ones that have like the little medals on them. I have a lot of those from like Scholastic book fairs growing up, or just ones that I remember on Reading Rainbow, or just ones that I knew were popular and I bought them and read them and liked them. Of course, the classic, Love You Forever. This one always sweet, sad, but I had to have it for my kiddo. Another classic, Where the Wild Things Are. How come I don't know how to say that? What's wrong with me? But yeah. The Crayon Box That Talked. My name's on it because when I worked at a daycare, I would buy books whenever the kids would have their little Scholastic thing, and so of course I would always order books for my little room. Dr. DeSoto. Again, these are very classic-y books. If you've heard of them, let me know if any of these were your favorites, or if you remember reading them, or again for my age group, if you remember seeing them on like Reading Rainbow. Excuse me. The dogs are barking. I woke up my dog. I loved this book, Thunder Cake. It's about a girl who goes to visit her grandmother. No, you're not going to go bark. And they make a thunder cake. And I remember there's a recipe for it at the back of the book. And it calls for like tomatoes. And I tried making this one day. And I think I like did it wrong. It was years and years and years ago. And I think I did it wrong because I like didn't mix the ingredients right or the right way. it did not turn out. So I kind of want to keep these ingredients on hand one day, and that way when it storms, I can try to make it again. I haven't done that in a long time. I have a bunch of these, but I just grabbed one. The little critters, you know, just go to bed. I have like just me and my dad, just me and my mom, like lots of different little critter books. Also, I didn't pull it, but I also have some Berenstain Bears books. This one wasn't one I grew up with, but I got it for my kiddo and her scholastic thing. Lady Pancakes or French Toast. I thought it would be like, it, you know, it just looks fun. She liked it. I mean, it wasn't like a favorite of hers, but she liked it. You know, there's a Thanksgiving book I freaking love, and I don't know if I pulled it. Oh, this book's so dusty. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. And you know what? I'm going to show you my favorite picture in this whole book, and you're going to think I'm weird. But his little butt in the ground always just made me think of ham. You know, pig, ham. So, I don't know. Hey, it's okay. We don't know. We're not going to go bark. We're not going to go bark. No. Another classic, Struganona. I don't know if anyone's ever read this. If you have, again, let me know. Just a very classic book that a lot of people have heard of. I have Rumpelstiltskin. The Little Mouse, the Red Ripe Strawberry, and the Big Hungry Bear. A lot of people have heard of this one. I feel like it was a smaller format at some point, like a smaller book, but I could be wrong. Bandit. Shh. This one was featured, I think, on like, I really feel like this was featured on Reading Rainbow or some kid show for sure, but Once a Mouse. I don't know. I must have got this from like a garage sale because I don't know a Harlan, but nor have I ever. But the Tiny Seed, or maybe I got it from like a thrift store because I'll find books like that at thrift stores. The Kissing Hand. The Legend of the Poinsettia. I don't have the Legend of the Bluebonnet. Oddly enough, being a Texan, you would think I would. Maybe I'll buy it just to add it to my collection. Diary of a Worm. Not an old book, but I thought it was going to be cute. And it was. It was a cute little book I had gotten my daughter when she was younger from the Scholastic thing. Okay, I have a ton of the night before books, like the night before Halloween, the night before Thanksgiving here's one. I have the night before like kindergarten, night before first grade, night before the first snow. Like, I was obsessed with those books for her. So I just happened to pull the Thanksgiving one, but I do have a bunch of these. All these books are balancing on one little thing. When I was growing up, this was probably one of my favorite books to read at my grandma's house. This is not her book, but I did buy this online, I think from like eBay or Etsy or something. But I have two different versions. Obviously, there's multiple. It's Cinderella. But this was the one. This one I love the most. She had both of these. So I did hunt down both of them. But there was, what was it in this one that I loved the most? I think it was her dress. Like, look at the cute pink dress. And the sisters, oh, the stepsisters were just so ugly in this book. But it was this one that I loved. And of course, yeah, like I said, I also would read this one at her house. And I just loved the print inside with the mice. This one, her dress was probably my favorite in this book, though. And I liked when they showed the stepsisters trying to shove their feet in there. Another classic. This one was one of my favorite books. I don't even know why. But Stone Soup. I think it's because, you know, I like the lesson behind it. But it's a really good book. You can't even read it. I'm not going to use this as a thumbnail. I'm even trying. Girl, why are you trying? Oh. Reading Rainbow book. Caps for sale. Very much a classic for my age group. I don't know where I have the other ones of these. I have two, but I don't have Miss Nelson is Missing, but I do have Miss Nelson is Back. I did have Miss Nelson's Missing, but I think it's in my closet somewhere for some weird reason. I think it's because my daughter dressed up as, what was it? Swan, or what was her name? Why can't I think of her freaking name? Viola Swamp. Yeah, she dressed up as her for like a book fair, book parade day or something. My hair is a hot mess because I took it out of clip, but ignore that. Everyone Poops. Should this be my thumbnail? But yeah, I mean, if your kid's embarrassed about going to the bathroom or you just want to teach them, here's a book about everybody pooping. I have a few of these, but I just happened to grab this one. Amelia Bedelia. Can't go wrong with Amelia Bedelia. I think my favorite was the date cake, and she cut up the calendar and put it in there. Dust the furniture, so she made it all dusty. She was a character. Another classic, The Little House. I don't know if I should balance more. My friend, neighbor, growing up, they had a book, but it was like a hamburger. And I think they had this one as well. I couldn't find the hamburger, but this one is called Sam's Sandwich. And it's like really cool because it looks like a sandwich. And the burger one looked like a burger. I think one of the girls that I grew up with still has the burger one, or that or she had ordered it. But like, and it rhymes. And so like he puts gross things in her sandwich, like this little caterpillar. And behind the cucumbers, what is it? It's a worm. So, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I always loved this book. I'll get into like the little short, fat books because I do like these. This was another one I bought when I worked at the daycare because I really liked it. And it's called Drummer Hoff. I really like the art style in this book. And I actually met a guy when I worked, he was an older man, when I worked in my place of employment the first time. And he knew this book. So I just started calling him, he's gone now. But I can't, Corporal Farrell, because his last name was Farrell. So I would always refer to him from this book. The Runaway Bunny. I Love You, Stinky Face. We read this one a lot. And I think we have a couple of different versions of these. We have Merry Christmas, Stinky Face. And I think, and Happy Halloween, Stinky Face. Of course, we have Goodnight Moon. But we also have Goodnight Goon. I don't know. I'm horrible at doing thumbnails. Don't judge me for it. I'm trying. My grandma had this book. Super dusty. And I read it all the time. I do have Corduroy. I don't think I did pull Corduroy. I do own it, but A Pocket for Corduroy was my favorite because I love when he got into the laundry soap. Where's that scene where he's like falling out of the soap? This was my favorite. I don't know why. But yeah, this is one of my favorite books. And then we have Goodnight Gorilla. And then we have On the Night You Were Born. Okay, now we're going into another set of books. Let's put them on the table. The Night Before Halloween. So we're talking about the Thanksgiving one. We have The Night Before Halloween. This one, I love this one. It's the night before Christmas. So they're still running around at the store. They're trying to gather things. Mom's tired. I love this one. The Spooky Express, Texas. I'm from Texas, so I do have a few Texas theme books. And this one's really cool because it like stops around, hold on. Okay, they were big trolls from Lubbock that towered in size and aliens from Austin with bright bulging eyes. And so like it just lists different places. Lake Travis. And then we go on to, hold on. They're traveling, apparently. We have Sam Houston Park. So anyway, if you're from Texas and I might have bought this at like Target at the time, but I like little theme books for my kiddo, and I really enjoyed the theme book. And I also have Santa's Sleigh is on its way to Texas, and it's the same kind of concept. So, the wind chimes in Houston, swinging the warm breeze. The north wind blows gently through Baytown's palm trees. Plainview. Really cool. Let me see where else we got. Midland, Longview, Zilker Park, so Austin. I'm close to Austin, so I like seeing all the Austin stuff. But yeah, neat little book. I wish, okay, I loved these books when I was a kid, and I bought these for my daughter. I don't know where the other one's at. It's the Jolly Postman and Other People's Letters. She lost all the letters and all the cool things to it. So I bought her the Christmas one. There may be one or two things still in here. But if you've never heard of these books, they're really cool. Just don't leave them with your kid unattended because they will lose everything. But let me show you. So, okay, the Three Little Bears has nothing in it. So let me move on, see if I can find if any of these envelopes still have something. Okay, this one does. So this is from Miss R. Hood. So Miss Little Red Riding Hood. And it's like a little letter. In the back, you take it out. And this says, from Mr. Wolf to R.R. Hood, this festive time of year, a little gift for being good. And a Merry Christmas, dear. P.S. I'm a changed wolf. And it's like a little game. So it says, beware, get out of the woods. The rules. And it like, you can play this game with your kiddo. But it's pretty cool. And then, let me see if there's any other ones in here. Humpty Dumpty. Gone. Gingerbread Boy. Simple Simon's Complete Book of Knowledge. I don't know where this belongs. Who's Simple Simon? I don't think this belongs with the Gingerbread Man, but it was in there. Yeah, okay. This one has something for our good old pal, the postman. So they have a letter for him. And here is his... Oh, and if you open it, you kind of see like a whole little scene. I don't know. they're really cool. It was fun to kind of read the little letters and like a little surprise in each one. So recommend those. I had ordered this online for my daughter when she was a kid. It's the little girl who lost her name. And she goes along the way and finds letters. Like here's an N. Here's another N. She has a lot of N's in her name. But here's a B. Here's an R. So anyway, and at the end it spells out your kiddo's name at the very back. But yeah, so this was a cool book. It's at www.lostmy.name. So if you ever want to make one for your kiddo, this is where I got it. And I think they have other kind of like theme books that you can incorporate your kid's name in. And I think they always think that's kind of cool, you know. This book is kind of fun. It's How Are You Peeling? Foods with Moods. And I always thought it was cool because they carved these fruits to have different like faces. And it talks about like the mood that they're in. So yeah, that one's fun. Are Pirates Polite? This was another one. Didn't grow up with it or anything. Neither did my kiddo. It was just one of those Scholastic Book Fair purchases because it looked like a fun book to read. And of course it was. This is like my favorite book ever. I love reading this book because it's dusty. At one point, you're going to think I'm crazy for this, but at one point I had this whole book memorized. I did. I could recite this whole entire book. I read it to my daycare kids all the time. And yeah, it's just a fun little book about a turkey and trying not to get eaten for Thanksgiving. Highly recommend. This is another one I loved to read. I think I almost had this one memorized. Shiver Me Letters, and it's about like pirates. I ordered this one, just finding different letters to make the alphabet. Things like that. Okay, we've got, Over in the Meadow. We used to sing this in choir when I was a kid. So when I came across this book at Half Price Books, I definitely snagged it because it was a little song I liked. I'm a huge Arthur fan. If you know anything about me, you know I love Arthur. I watch the show literally all the time. Sometimes when on my day off, I'll sit in front of the TV, put on Arthur, eat a snack, like I'm in elementary again. So I do have Arthur Tricks the Tooth Fairy. This is really, I think, the only Arthur book I have, though. I read the books in elementary, but like I watched the show more, so I'm more for the show. And of course, like I said, I have Corduroy. I did get this at Kohl's, this actual copy, because it came with Corduroy, the little bear. It was like $5 for each one or whatever. I don't know if y'all remember these books, the Eyewitness books. I used to check these out at the library all the time. I only have two. I have the Ancient Egypt, and I have like gems and crystals, or crystals and gems. But if you've never seen an Eyewitness book and you're trying to look up stuff, or you think you just want to learn about things, these are the books to find, because they were so full of artifacts and information. So if your kid's doing a project on Egypt, find this book. These are perfect for projects. Find them at a library, find them to buy. They were just so freaking cool. And I don't think half of us ever read the little writing, but it was just cool to see all the artifacts. And then like, they have a ton. They have a ton. And this is probably not even like all of them. I wonder if these are dupes. Mars? Yeah, okay, so it's the same thing on each page, but yeah, I look at these and there's some I'm like, I want to own that book. Okay, I'm getting down to the last two. This is probably This is my favorite Dr. Seuss book, and a lot of people don't know about it, but it just like really makes you appreciate who you are, and that's why I love this book. And I think the last paragraph in the book is like, it always stood out to me, and it says, "That's why I say, ducky, don't grumble, don't stew. Some critters are much, oh, ever so much, so muchly, much more unlucky than you." So it always kind of reminds you when you think you're just like having a bad day or something's just not going your way, like there are people who are much more unlucky than you. So like you have to kind of shake it off and be like, yeah, I'm going through some stuff, but it could be worse. Like I can have my little moment, but like don't have like a crash out, you know? And then this book, also Dusty. I read this at my grandma's house growing up a lot. I don't know that I've ever met anyone that's heard of these books, but this was probably one of my favorites, and it is Hoppity's First Thunderstorm. And it's about like this little rabbit who leaves, that's like the end of the book, but he leaves his little stuffed animal outside, and he's scared, and he wants his stuffed animal, but he left it on the swing. Like, I don't know. I just freaking nostalgia for me as well. But yeah, sorry this was such a long video. I have such a love for children's books that it really is one of my life goals to write one. I don't know when I will, if I ever will, but it is bucket list, something for me to just check off that I write and publish a children's book. Whether anyone ever knows what it is, I want to say I've done it. So I know. Okay, so I'm going on my trip in like literally a couple of weeks, and I think I have everything pretty much ordered clothing wise that I want to wear, that I want to take. I've ordered new Vans, I've ordered new Uggs, some shirts, some hoodie things from like TikTok shop. I don't know, that look like they came from Temu, so I probably should have ordered from Temu. But I really want to do a try on haul of all of the outfits I want to wear and kind of see how it looks. If that is something that you're interested in seeing, tell me so I can be like, okay, I'll make this video. And if no one tells me, I still might make the video, because I mean, I have like 5 followers. Can you all 5 tell me you want to see me dress up? But yeah, I ordered some pants from American Eagle. There's a couple. I don't plan on taking a lot of jeans up there just for the sake of room in my suitcase. But yeah, I think tomorrow I think I'm going to try to wake up and just start doing a try on haul of all the outfits I plan on taking, because I need to do it anyway to see how I like how it's going to look. So I figure why not make a video and post it, just plus size clothing, you know. But I would love to hear if you'd actually love to see it. Okay, that is it for today.